In this playlist, we are going to explain DSA, data structures and algorithms using Python. So let us have a question. How data structures and algorithms are used and why do we need to learn these codes? Coming to this, coming to answer this question, if any person who want to implement any algorithms or any method efficiently by using programming, then it is very important to learn this DSA. And another answer is if you if a student want to crack any IT companies or any MNC companies for software roles, then he must require this DSA. To solve any programming question, we need to learn DSA by using any programming language. Here we are choosing Python. Why sir, why Python is chosen? Python is chosen for the sake of its simplicity and best features to implement DSA. And oops, to whom this course is useful, sir? For students and software employees to solve logic based questions. Okay, if any person want to learn programming by using implementing logic, then this course is a guide, or you can say bridge between the person and knowledge. Sir, is this course useful before placement or after placement or on the placement? This course is useful in entire life cycle. Before placement it is useful, and after placement it is useful, and on placement also it is useful. How sir? Before placement, a student must need to participate in technical round as well as technical exam to crack those rounds. This is the ba- basic, and this plays a major role in solving those problems. So it is very important to learn DSA for students. Okay. As a student, a person cracked a company interview as well as selected for the company. Now, how this course is useful for him, sir? Again, this course is useful for him for to generate logical thinking. And even many MNC companies are using fundamental courses to develop their IT team skills. So that's why it is useful to those employees also. So for that, let us start with a basic programming. So now let us see a problem. Find remainder. Write a program to find the remainder when an integer a is divided by an integer b. So let us say there are two integers a and b. Then he is asking to find the remainder between A and B. So for this, let me write here itself. So now, how about the input was? First line contains an integer t. So t is an integer which was given under first line. Okay. The total number of test cases. T represents what? Total number of test cases. So totally 3 test cases are given. For that, then T lines follows. Each line contains two integers a and b. So they given T lines. Among those, here T is 3. So they provided 3 lines of input again, and in each line they provided A and B values are given. Then what is the output required is, for each test case, find the remainder when A is divided by B and display it in new line. So let us see, A and B are the two values given. Now A is divided by B. After that, what is the remainder we get that we need to display? So let us read T value at first. T, I am using Python 3 so that I'm more comfortable with Python. So that's why I'm using Python 3. T is equal to read this input. How do we read? So to read any input from integer input, we need to write input of is the function which is used to read the input. Basically, input function returns string. Remember the point. Input function basically returns the string. We need to convert that string into integer. So that's why I'm converting it into integer. Now 3 is read and stored in t value. So let us check by printing that t value, whether it is reading correctly. So I got 3 as my output. So that's why whatever the first input given, that was got in the output. So now what do I want to do is, I want to read 3 times the input. How to read 3 times the input? So for that, let me think what to do so that I can read 3 times. I can repeatedly read input 3 times. What I need to do is, I want to read input repeatedly 3 times. Instead, in generalized way, we can say like, if t is 3, then we are reading 3 times. If t is 4, then we need to read 4 times. So in generalized way, we need to read how many times? T times I need to read repeatedly the input of A and B values. So for that, how do I read repeatedly the input? For that repeated work, is there any algorithm present in Python, or you can say data structure present in Python is? So whenever you encountered a problem, that is, I need to do repeatedly the same work. In that case, you need to think of loops. Loops is a concept where it can provide you solution repeatedly. These many times you need to happen. Let us say we are having for loop, while loop, and do while, and so on. But let us use for loop now. We can implement this by using any loop. Now let us consider with doing for loop. For I in range of t. Why do I need to take range, sir? We can take range because Uh, Range will generate T sequence of values. So whenever range generates T sequence of value, then for loop will iterate, or you can say repeatedly iterate T times. Each and every time what I want to read is A and B values I want to read. So to read A and B values, I need to use input is the function that I need to use. Input function is used to read a single line. So my single line is readed. I want to give one value to A and two value to B in this case. So how is it possible, sir? How do I separate these? You can see there is a space separation between these two values. So based on space, you need to separate the input. So for that, we have split is a function in Python so that we can split the elements of same, we can split the string based on the given parameter in the split function. So let me give a space so that this whatever the string readed in this input got splitted in this way. Now what I want to do, sir, the data is string type. I want to convert it into integer. So for that, you can use map is a function which is used to convert the sequence of elements based on the functionality given. Sequence of elements is given, and which type I want to convert? I want to convert it into integer. So I have written it as integer. So now A and B are read successfully. Let us print A comma B every time. So by watching this, we can print that. So let us run and observe whether A and B are reading or not and printing or not. So you can see first input, what are the values A and B are 1 comma 2. So those are printed, and second value is printed, and third input is also printed. Now what do we require is we just need to do this operation. Find for each test case, find the remainder when dividing A, when A is divided by B. A is divided by B, we just need the result. So here we just divide. For divide, we have by operation, so that's why I put by. So let us see whether it executes or not. So here you can observe what you are getting. You are getting floating point values. Why, sir? This is floating division, sir. Integer division is two times we need to put by, so that we are getting integer division. So let us see now the output. So you are getting integer division output. But what you required is you just need a reminder. For reminder, we need modulo operation to get the remainder. How do we get the remainder, sir? We can do modulo operation between A and B. Find the remainder when A is divided by B. If A is divided by B, then what is the remainder they're asking? So let us run and check. So here we got the exact answers. So let us submit and check whether the internal test cases are passed or not. So here you can see every test case got passed. So in this way, we can read inputs and we can perform our logic based on the program given. I think here you understood the basic problem solving in this video. Everyone must try with this question. I try to provide the link in description. A happy welcome to all for data structures and algorithms playlist. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest update.